Vengeance Day is coming up. NXT Takeover Vengeance Day is coming up on Sunday. Point of order, we will definitely do our reaction show like we normally do. Takeover is a very exciting card. We're going to predict it as well. There's, I think, 5 matches confirmed for it. There's 5 matches confirmed for this. So it's a 5-match card. That's what NXT usually does, usually 5 or 6 matches. So let's do our predictions, talk about it, because I know you're excited about this, James. Especially with the Dusty Rhodes finals.
Yes, definitely
happening. I know Alex, you're about it as well. So how about we just go through the card one at a time? We'll do our predictions, of course, and then we'll talk about the matches, because I think there's a lot of interestingness, at least in some of these matches. And then there's some things that are not so interesting that I'll definitely get into. But anyway, let's start with the first match on the card. I don't know what the order of the card is going to be, but I'm going to start with the Dusty finals, because I think these matches have the most intrigue. So the women's Dusty Tag Team Finals is Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Shotzi, Blackheart, and Ember Moon. They did confirm on Wednesday that the winner of this match will get a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match, possibly at WrestleMania. They weren't really clear when it was going to happen, but that seemed like the most logical thing. Maybe it'll happen at Fastlane.
I say WrestleMania would be I say WrestleMania. Only reason I say it will happen on WrestleMania is because there's 2 nights. And you're going to need to fill 2 nights.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, there's 2 nights, you might as well have this match, this. So James, I guess we'll start with you and go kind of move like we always do. If Raquel versus Shotzi and Ember, who do you have?
Much as I like Dakota Kai and Raquel, I think Shotzi and Ember are the better pick for this because they're the faces and they go against the heel Nia and Shea if those are still champions at the time. I think they would benefit more from this win and everything. Shotzi and Ember Moon would benefit more for winning this one than Raquel, because Raquel is already set up to be probably the number 1 contender for the women's title. The only one that really kind of gets screwed out of this is Dakota Kai.
She's still with Raquel, so
she's still with Raquel. So I think they don't really need this win. I think it would better go with Shotzi and Ember on this one, because Shotzi's already showed up at the Royal Rumble. Everybody knows Ember Moon on the main roster. Shotzi was in the Women's Royal Rumble. If they go up there and they're tagging and everything up on the main roster for the belts, it's not going to be much, hard to sell it, like that. Okay. So I say them. I say Ember and Shotzi.
You know what? I think that's some really good points, James. I do feel like it's interesting because that does have me thinking, like, okay, the difference between Raquel and Dakota winning and Ember and Shotzi winning is literally like when the title shot happens. Because if the title shot happens on like it also matters who the champions are. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, if it was something where the title shot was happening on something NXT related, or even like Fastlane, it'd be like, well, either team could win that, and then that, they'll be on the main roster for that one particular match at most. But especially if we want to pretend for, let's half assume for a second that maybe they are going to hype that up for, like, I don't know, night 1 of WrestleMania, based on that kind of logic, but also kind of what James was saying about, there's a little bit more familiarity with Shotzi and Ember. I actually do feel like that's a good safe pick. So I'm actually gonna go with the safe pick here, and I'm gonna go with Shotzi and Ember. Okay.
I'm going to echo. I think the biggest reasoning and what James said, and I think that's right, is the fact that Ember Moon was on the main roster in the past means that they're probably going to pick this team. Like, she was on the main roster for a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
Before her unfortunate, very career-threatening injury that she had.
Yeah.
And she was gone for a year, so she came back to NXT. And Shotzi has been someone they keep putting up like on main roster opportunities. So she was in the Rumble, but we've also seen her a couple times on the main roster just randomly.
Yeah, she's randomly there. She's the face. She seems to be the new face of the women's division.
Yeah, they're like positioning her as like one of the faces. Like I know she had like a Raw appearance where she actually won a match, or Smackdown. I don't remember what it was. It was like a one-off appearance.
Yeah,
but she was on there. Like Not that people are going to remember that, but
But-
Ember Moon, I think they'll remember. Unfortunately, she has new music, so you can't even do that. Like, dun, dun, dun. But there's no live crowd at the pop anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I was
I think
thinking.
they're winning. As much as I would like to see Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez win, yeah, Shotzi and Ember. Okay. All right, so the men's Dusty final then. Some intrigue here. MSK, the new hot team on the block, Wesley and Nash Carter, taking on the Grizzled Young Veterans. I don't know.
Okay,
that's kind of
Vince.
weird, I guess.
That's
That's
how-
what Zach Gisman does, man.
That's what
He's
Zach
just like
does,
all
yeah.
for it. This is the tag
You're right, you're right.
final. The
Zach
winner
puts that
gets the
emphasis.
trophy and a future shot at the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Oh,
Alex,
I'm
up to you.
glad I get to be the first to pick this one because I just want to real quickly say I love the fact that our finals for this year's Dusty Classic comprises of 2 actual tag teams. I don't know why. I think it was a conversation we had at the beginning of the tournament about a small concern, and this was both the men's and the women's tournaments of the sort of randomly booked tag teams that you can kind of expect from tag team tournaments. But the fact that we have a finals comprising of a team coming in from Impact, but they've shown a lot of promise so far, just in the relatively short time that they've been in NXT and MSK. And then you got the Grizzled Young Veterans, who I feel like they're more of, because I'm familiar with them because I've seen enough of the NXT UK stuff to know like that was where their kind of bread and butter was as far as their promotion. And then like they've been on NXT and it's been great. So this is a tough one to pick, but I'm just really excited about this particular finals. Like this is the kind of finals I like to see for a tournament. I'm actually gonna go. It's gonna be kind of crazy, but I'm actually gonna go with MSK. I just have a feeling. I have this feeling that there is a rocket strap to MSK at the moment, and I feel like a win here would really secure that logic. So I gotta go with MSK on this one.
So to the point where it's kind of nice to see actual tag teams in the finals. Literally half of these tournaments have been won by makeshift tag teams who just formed for the tournament.
Yeah. That's why I thought
even and just as many have been in the final, and then additionally, only one final has featured a all tag team final, and that was 2016, or TM61 versus the Authors of Pain. Every other final has featured a makeshift tag team. So this is nice.
Because I thought, as I told you guys before, I thought it was going to be Drake Maverick and Killian Dane when they first announced it. I was like, that's probably going to be in the finals. That's what the story was saying. Then they kind of just
they petered out. But yeah, this MSK team kind of came out of nowhere. I'm actually really surprised on how much they got pushed. Like they got pushed all the way to the finals. I really like the Grizzled Young Veterans, and it would be a shame if they lose in the finals 2 years in a row. At least this time they'll be losing to a real tag team. I am picking MSK because I think simply because Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch are the tag team champions right now, and they're heels, and there really is no faces who are at risk of taking it from them right now.
Yeah.
For Grizzled Young Veterans, not that NXT is above doing heel versus heel matches; they do it all the time. And I really love the Grizzled Young Veterans, and they deserve so much better. Like being featured like all the freaking time. But I'm glad they got here. You know, I was really worried that Ciampa and Thatcher were going to be in the finals. Like as much as I like Ciampa and Thatcher individually, you know, they're not a tag team. And they had beaten the Undisputed Era. Like, wow, okay.
Well, they had the thing of
right, but you can get your moment in a second. Like, I was really worried to have yet another throw. Like, I thought we were going to a Ciampa and Thatcher win of this tournament. So I'm pleasantly surprised that the Grizzled Young Veterans won last night. That was, okay, that was great. But also that we have 2 actual tag teams. You know, WWE does not do great with tag team wrestling at times. So, you know, Grizzled Young Veterans, MSK. But I think
Takeover's the exception
because MSK are the
quote
unquote good guys. You know, they're the ones who are going to win the tournament. James?
Yeah, when it comes to tag teams, NXT is the exception. They're usually pretty good. I like
not really.
Well, when it comes to tag team, the tag teams are slightly above Raw and SmackDown on that range.
Go ahead.
But I like, both. I like Grizzled Young Veterans. I do. I've watched them on, NXT UK. I've seen them form. I really like MSK. I really like that they brought this new team in, and like I said, they strapped the rocket, and they've showed that the future of the tag team division is with them. Plus, right, Orny Lorcan and Birch need a face team to go up against, and these guys are fresh face, energetic, young. I hate that the veterans are back there, and the way it's going, they're probably going to lose again and everything. So I got to go. I really think the better move though, and MSK winning would be the best move because it can insert a new life into the tag team division in NXT since the pandemic, and it's hurt from the pandemic and everything like that, and that's hurt them a little bit with that. But so I say MSK and everything for a clean sweep on our choices. But I wouldn't be mad if Good Young Veterans did win. I wouldn't be mad if they did. But
No, I would prefer if they won. I don't think they will, but I would.
I
Actually
don't
prefer
think they will.
personally.
Because I don't think they really need it at this moment. But then again, you can always set up that, hey, MSK takes it from Oni Lorch and Burke, and the veterans can always come back later. If you want to go that route too.
Yeah. All right, so we all picked MSK. All right, next match on the card then. So I'm going to go with the NXT North American title match, and that is Johnny Gargano, the excellent Johnny Gargano, defending against KUSHIDA. I'll tell you, Johnny Gargano on Wednesday night was just absolutely just another chef's kiss. Oh my gosh. Like the broken arm thing with like, and he's like shaking his arm the entire time, like my arm is broken.
Yeah. Well, I like that. First, I like that Austin Theory brought him down, like carrying him down.
Oh yeah, they carried him down.
Like he's like just a little child. He's just like, oh my arm, like that.
Just give me a few months, man. My arm will be unbroken.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll be back in just give me about 4 weeks. I'll be back and everything.
Maybe a couple weeks, maybe a couple months.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Actually, I love the shade he threw at Austin Theory when Regal's like, okay, well, you know what, Austin Theory can defend the title for you. He's like, no, we can't. No.
I know. So
there was no hesitation. Like, no, absolutely not.
You can one. What was it? Was it forfeit? What was it? What did he say? Like forfeit?
Well, it was one. Oh. It was he could let Austin Theory defend it for him, or he could forfeit it, and he was like, and I just loved how immediately like no to Austin Theory.
Austin Theory can defend it for you tonight, right now.
With that aside said,
KUSHIDA's
I go first this time. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think they spoiled the match. They've been spoiling the match for a couple weeks with Dexter Lumis lurking on the peripheral of the storyline, and they're setting up Johnny versus Dexter Lumis. Although they did throw a little bit of a wrench in there with KUSHIDA kind of like staring him down too. I think Johnny Gargano is going to retain the title. Unfortunately, just the way they presented their storylines lately, I think, with the exception of the Cup Finals, and even then we all picked the same thing, they've really positioned the show to be a show of nothing changes. And unfortunately, I don't think the style's changing. As much as I think, if of the titles, I think this would be the most likely to change, but I don't think it is changing. I think Johnny Gargano is going to keep it because they want to have Dexter Lumis challenge him. So Johnny Gargano, James.
I'm of a different mind. I like I said, I like.
Finally going to be off.
We're going to be all script on this one. We're going to all script this. So I like the change. And the one thing about the segment too, which we didn't talk about, was the arm, where it was like it's a left arm, and the picture up there is a right arm.
Oh yeah.
And even Regal's like,
it was just right if you have not seen that Johnny Gargano trying to get out of this match promo, you need to go watch it. Like it was just
classic.
It was like 5 minutes. I think it was almost 10 minutes long. It was just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, so it was
Johnny Gargano has turned into the quintessential cowardly heel, and I am here for it.
Yeah, so
he just does it so well, and I this is what I want from my cowardly heels.
I think where they're going with this is I think they're gonna have KUSHIDA win. I think they're gonna set it into a three-way. They're going to a three-way. I think as KUSHIDA wins this, and Dexter Lumis is good, they're gonna turn it into a three-way. By some, Dexter causes something to happen underneath the ring again or something like that, and he distracts him and Gargano loses, and then Gargano comes back the next day. He's pissed. He's like, because of
So
Dexter.
Lumis cost Gargano the title, and then
And
Gargano.
then Dexter is gonna want his shot at Kushida. Kushida said, "I'll
Dexter's
take
not
the
going to
vote."
do anything because he doesn't talk. But
But you know what I mean? He's gonna have a picture
Yeah.
of him versus Kushida, a drawing of him versus Kushida, and Johnny's like, "No, no, 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 no. I want my rematch like that." So then they'll go.
wait, no, you need to draw me in that picture too.
Yeah, like that. So yeah, that's what I see. I think they're going like that. So I think Kushida takes it.
All right, we finally got some disagreement here, Alex. You got.
I was hoping to be the contrarian, but James has already taken that spot for this match. I'm actually I'm gonna go with the safe pick as well. To me, I would love nothing more than to see the Time Splitter take the North American Championship. But I do feel kind of what Chris was saying.
He's not even doing that more. He's like wearing a white
Well,
beater now.
he's still the Time Splitter to me. Dang it.
Yeah.
I'm
He's still Marty McFly.
no, I gotta go with Johnny Gargano.
Now he's like Biff now. He's got like the wife beater,
I
man.
100%
Oh, yeah.
think that I 100% think the next step in this whole thing is going to be Lumis versus Gargano. I like what James has said, but I don't think that's what we're actually going to get. So yeah, Gargano's my pick.
All right, let's go to the next one. So the next match is the triple threat for the NXT Women's title, and that is Io Shirai defending her title against both Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm. Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm. Mercedes Martinez is getting her first title match ever in WWE. Toni Storm, of course, is a former NXT UK Women's Champion, and she's also had a couple shots at this title too over her time here. But James, you're up first. Io Shirai, Toni Storm, Mercedes Martinez. What do you think?
This is a tough one because Io has done a great job. I'm not saying Io hasn't done a great job. Held that belt. She's done so well with it. How Toni Storm is. I just don't like Toni Storm being heel, but she also done a fantastic job. And Mercedes Martinez is badass. I still say Io retains it. I think they're still going. I think they're going with Raquel Gonzalez. I think they're going with Raquel Gonzalez, WrestleMania weekend, beating Io Shirai to take the belt, and Io going up to main roster after WrestleMania. I think they're going toward that route and everything. And I think that's where the path is going. I think the changing of the guard comes after WrestleMania. I think Raquel becomes the champion. She's the top dog there, and then we build a face challenger up after that. So Io keeps this. I think so. Io keeps this one.
All right, Alex.
I see James's point, but I don't have that much faith even in NXT to really guide them. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm entirely saying, but my point is I don't think I see them planning something as long term as towards WrestleMania weekend, just because I'm not even sure. Like I really don't think we're even getting. I don't think we're getting a takeover on WrestleMania weekend. I think the closest thing.
No,
well,
we're not.
Or they have the match
that's
at WrestleMania. They need matches.
Well, they've split out. They split away Takeover from the pay-per-views. Like, there's no longer Takeover on Saturday. The pay-per-view on Sunday right now.
This Takeover is on a Sunday. In
but
fact,
it doesn't mean they
just
can
point out something.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean that they need to fill up matches.
Well, no,
doesn't mean they won't have the NXT women's on like day one or something.
Well, Alex is making the point is they're not going to do an NXT show that weekend.
I think the main NXT representation we're gonna really get is maybe the NXT Championship that weekend. Otherwise, that and the women's tag team match if they're doing what we were saying earlier with the winners of the Women's Dusty Classic. But otherwise, I think we're gonna have a situation where they're gonna build towards something else, and for that reason, I'm actually gonna go with Toni Storm to win.
Okay, great.
Or they have a big episode
that
of
is
NXT
also possible.
And everything before WrestleMania.
It's I think they might do something like let's compete with Dynamite with our big show, whatever Dynamite, because Dynamite does like a big special episode once a month.
They might
so
do
NXT's probably gonna start doing that. Anyway, for this match, personally, I would love Toni Storm to win. She's probably my favorite in this match. But this is kind of as I was alluding to last month. They're really setting up future feuds before they've in all of their championship matches. So spoilers for next match too. They're really setting up future feuds without finishing the current feuds, and that makes me think that nothing's going to change. So I am picking Io Shirai for that reason. Raquel Gonzalez pinned her in November. Like,
Yeah,
that was a thing, and then they never followed up on that.
they haven't followed up on it.
I feel like they're going to follow up on it later because Raquel Gonzalez is still said in the back that
Right.
she wants a shot at Io. And it's a shame because I think a title change here would be very interesting because Io is kind of getting stale in the women's division. It's not her fault. Like, we've actually been showcasing a ton of other women in the division lately, which has been great. I don't know when Io Shirai's last title defense was.
No, she did it in no, it was at the
I feel like it's been at least
no,
2 or
no,
3
it
weeks
wasn't.
ago
It was
on an episode of NXT.
Yeah, I thought she had. Yeah,
Yeah,
she had.
she's been defending
Toni,
it on shows that weren't
Storm.
like special
Toni
shows.
Storm, maybe? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was
I don't remember who it was,
Evil.
but anyway,
Evil.
I don't know what she's been doing lately. Where I do know what Toni Storm's been doing lately. I do know what Mercedes Martinez has been doing lately. I do know what Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez have been doing lately. I know what Shotzi and Ember have been doing lately. I know what Zaya Lee has been doing lately. I really don't know what Io Shirai has been doing lately. It's not her fault. I think she's kind of got forgotten about a bit from the writers. Like, nothing for her to do. But with that said, I think they're still going to do Raquel and Io because I think Raquel is going to be the new standard bearer from the division after WrestleMania.
Yeah, I
call up some people. Io's probably the main roster soon, but I don't think it's
I do feel kind of bad for Mercedes Martinez purely because she's come back to, she's come back to NXT.
I know.
To just be another name.
They've never done anything with her. I don't believe
my point is, like,
now.
she's just become another name in the division, which I guess is probably still a step up from being the other woman in Reckoning, or in Retribution, which is our one Retribution mention of the week.
But I mean, before that, she's been with WWE for a couple of years, but they never done anything with her ever. This is kind of the problem I had with Candice LeRae with her first couple of years of the company, is like she never did anything either, and then all of a sudden, hey, Candice LeRae, we're supposed to take her seriously.
Right.
I'm like, why? And as much as I like Mercedes Martinez, I have to ask myself, why is she in this match? Like, I don't know the last match she's won. I'm sure she's won matches, but like I don't.
Yeah. Well, they moved.
I really don't know what she's been doing other than
they moved her up to Retribution. Well, here's the thing. For some reason,
she was there for like 1 week. She was never a member of Retribution.
No, she was. Here's the thing.
All right,
for some
but
reason,
I mean, she like never did anything with them.
No, well, here's the thing. She was about to get started. She was getting started in the good role with NXT. Then for some freaking reason, they grabbed her out of NXT, put her on the main roster in Retribution. It was like, why are you doing that? There's no need to do that. And it kind of derailed what she should have been doing for the last few months in NXT. I don't know. Suddenly they brought her up for Retribution with no need for it. And then they threw her right back down.
Here's the thing. Right before she left NXT to go to the main roster, they even started setting her up with a story because she had kind of begrudgingly joined the Robert Stone brand by saying, like, fine, you can handle my paperwork or whatever, and I will.
That happened.
But let me focus on my.
Yeah, they were telling she.
That was like 2 weeks. I don't think she won any of the matches.
She did. She won her first 2 matches. She showed she was a badass. She grabbed Robert Stone. She goes, "You handle my light work. You handle. I don't want to do anything about paperwork. I don't want to worry anything about travel. You handle all that crap."
That's what I'm saying. They set it up, and then she went to the.
Yeah,
that lasted like 2 weeks, and then she disappeared, and then she came back.
Right, that's exactly my. That's kind of my point, though, is that she came back. She's done nothing.
She's done nothing. She doesn't deserve this match.
Because it was.
I mean, her character does. For clarity's sake, her character does not deserve this match.
Oh yeah,
she does because she's great.
Oh yeah,
her character deserves.
I think the only interesting thing that can happen with her involvement in this match is if the Robert Stone brand stuff comes back up, because as it is, I haven't seen that since she's been back. So.
Well, Robert, we saw him. I did see Robert.
No,
Stone show up.
She dropped him 2 weeks later after she lost the match to Rhea Ripley. So
again, they boarded it. It was supposed to be. I think it was supposed to be. She was supposed to be the diamond in Robert Stone, the Robert Stone Corporation of the.
Yeah, but like I said, after she lost to Rhea Ripley, she dropped.
Yeah, I missed that detail.
Because they took her right up. because they took her right to the main roster after that. They were like, "You're coming to
Well,
Retribution."
right, but I'm talking about her character. Like
No.
Retribution is really not canon because she wasn't
Right.
Mercedes Martinez in Retribution. So like we can't even consider that as being.
But here's
part
the
of her.
thing: the reason why she's in it because she came back and she attacked Io Shirai.
Right, and what I'm saying is her character doesn't deserve this.
So, well,
Yeah, no, exactly. The
okay,
character
you wanna
doesn't
go that
deserve
route.
it.
So,
I do want
but
to go
here's
that
the thing,
route.
but
I'm
that's
making the distinction. Like she hasn't
but
won
I
a match
think
on
this is
TV.
the reason. Well, I think she's there. She's probably going to take. She might be the one to take the pin, and Tony still make them look
According
strong.
to Wikipedia, her last victory was on February 5th of 2020 on NXT.
Yeah.
Over Casey Catanzaro. So it's literally been a year since she's won a match on NXT.
Yeah, like I said, again, that's not her fault. I
No.
don't think that's her
Yeah,
fault.
No, it's not her fault, but I'm saying
Yeah,
her
no, I see
character
what you're
deserve-
saying now.
Yeah, so she's probably gonna be the one
Probably.
to take the pin.
Probably.
Yeah.
She's there the
Okay.
one to take the pin. She's probably
That's all I'm saying. That's all I was saying is that she hasn't won a match.
I said out of all the three here, that's what I said. As you said, out of all the three here,
Maybe she'll win the title for that reason. Like WWE
Yeah,
likes to do that.
she could
She's
be
on
a
a year losing
Yep.
streak. Let's get her the title
Okay.
on her. Who
That
knows?
could be-
Anyway,
Yeah,
She could
now
be
we
the
can move
final.
on.
Let's go to the final match. So the NXT title match, and that is the champion Finn Balor versus the bruiserweight Pete Dunne, in perhaps a European dream match, for like European wrestling.
Yeah.
It's up there, that's for sure. Maybe I think the only other dream match like Europe is waiting for is Finn Balor versus Walter.
Oh God, I would love to see Finn Balor.
Oh yeah, you would love to see that, wouldn't you?
Just the slaps.
I know, right?
See his chest.
But Finn Balor's defending against Pete Dunne. Alex, you are up.
Okay. So first of all, I feel like this would have 100% headlined an ICW show in Scotland a few years back, because I'm pretty sure they've both been through that. I think they've both been a part of that promotion at some point. Sorry, that was me randomly bringing up ICW. I can't help it. I don't think they face each other per se, but they've been in that company.
No, they're like
exactly.
15 years apart age-wise.
Anyways,
so.
I just thought that was an interesting note.
Finn Balor's like 40, and Pete Dunne.
No, he's
so anyways, that said,
this
is. I will say that this is definitely an exciting match for me to see, because I've really been digging what both guys can do. It's been interesting because there was a tweet that was put out recently where it was noted that Finn Balor has very recently been on NXT for like a total amount of days, longer than he ever was like on the main roster. As of as a few days ago, he's been on NXT longer than the main roster run was. So it's like he's still even though he was on Raw for a while, he's still very much a staple of the NXT brand, having been a part of that like kind of before and after the elevation of the brand, very much becoming a part of it. Exactly, he helped elevate the brand.
Yeah, he helped elevate.
And so it's appropriate that he is champion at this time. And I think Pete Dunne's going to give him a run for his money. But I don't think Finn's going to lose the title. I think Finn's going to win this and retain. So that's my pick.
All right. I want to say, God, I want Pete Dunne to win this. Man, he should win this. They're billing this as first time ever. You don't waste first time ever on, the champion retaining here. But unfortunately, like the other matches, they are setting up the next feud already, and that's Karrion Kross. They've been having him lurking in the background for a while. And Karrion Kross even threatened Edge last week and said, they're not going to be champion. I'm going to be champion by the time WrestleMania rolls around. So the Karrion Kross issue is going to happen sooner rather than later. So I'm picking Finn Balor in actuality because that's my head pick. But my heart really wants Pete Dunne. And I think it would be... If there was one thing I could go and hack into the writer's room and change in WWE, it would be making sure Pete Dunne wins this match. All right, he's younger, he's the future. It can be sort of a passing of the torch for European wrestling. With him beating Finn Balor here, but also it would just be interesting. It would be unexpected. Then we can have a three-way between him, Balor, and Karrion Kross, and that would be awesome. Or even Pete Dunne versus Karrion Kross would be awesome too if they want to make Kross the face for some reason. But I really think he should win this. I know he's not going to, but he really should. Like, you can't. this is like this is your one chance to do this match the first time, and having Finn Balor go over is fine, but it's not spectacular. Even if Pete Dunne were to beat Finn Balor down the line, he'll always have that first loss of Finn Balor, which I think just it's a wasted opportunity. But with that said, I think it's still gonna be a fantastic match. We're probably gonna be talking about it next week as the match of the week. I can't imagine any of the other matches outshining this because they're just so talented. But yeah, Pete Dunne should win, but Finn Balor's gonna win. James?
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying with that. He is the younger of the two and everything like that. But that the age is probably working against him because he's so young, he can
They've
take
got
the
more
loss
time
here.
with him, yeah.
Yeah, they have more time with him and everything like that. I agree that this probably would be a good time you want to put on him right now. Again, I think Finn Balor. Now, I think they're waiting. Yeah, I think he's kind of in a holding pattern here. I think he loses this one. I, I I hate to say it because I do want to see him win too. I think he would make a fantastic heel champion. Balor's kind of a tweener now and everything.
Yeah. He's doing this tweener thing.
He's doing the tweener. He went from heel. He went from being heel in NXT to now he's a tweener. So he's kind of like face heel. He's not. He's
Right,
more.
he got the respect
he's leaning more toward face.
with
the
series with Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, so he's leaning more toward face on this one. So, and Pete Dunne's already shown that after one of the longest reigning title holders in the last decade. How long did he hold that UK belt? 4 years?
No, he only held 500 days. Walter's had it long.
Almost. Yeah, I thought he had a record.
He had the record, but it was like 500 days.
Walter
yeah,
has.
something around
Yeah,
there.
Walter just probably. No,
Walter's at like 700 now.
well, part of it's the pandemic, but yeah.
Part of it's the pandemic, but also Walter has like not lost a match since coming into.
Well,
NXT.
he's Walter. My God. But yeah. So I'd say Finn Balor though. Much as I would love to. No, like I said, I wouldn't be mad if. The 600. Okay, he had 685 day. His record ended at 685 days. So that's almost what? That's 2 years.
That's 2.5 years.
That sounds
2.5
right.
years. And Walter's
actually a little over 2 years now, I think. No,
yeah,
a little under 2 years. I'm sorry.
360 days. Yeah, just under 2 years. So yeah, he had the record at the time. So, but yeah, I say Finn Balor.
Actually, maybe Walter has had it for over 2 years now. So
I think Walter maybe will be closing that record now. I think, but
yeah, well, he got it in February of 2019, so he's at the 2-year mark.
Yeah, he might be going on 3 years soon. Good Lord. But
could be.
So yeah, but I say like I said, Finn Balor on this one. Like I said, I don't see them taking off Finn yet. I think they're setting up for Karrion Kross and Finn Balor. I think that's the big setup there and everything like that. That's where I think they're telegraphing that. And
He's at 736 days at the time of this recording.
Walter?
Yep.
Yeah. And he may never lose it at all. I don't see there's anybody.
He may never lose it.
He may never lose it. I don't really see. I really don't.
They're
see
doing like Bruno San Martino with him.
I don't really. Well, here's the thing. I don't see anybody that can take it off him. If you want to go Walter, who the closest we saw was Dragunov, which was fantastic. Still one of the greatest.
Yeah, I think he made relatively quick work of A-Kid. So
yeah, well, the A-Kid was a great match though, but still, yeah.
It wasn't Ilya Dragunov. I don't know, like.
Well, Dragunov and A-Kid are two different styles.
Yeah.
Like that. But yeah, so the only one that might be able to take it from him, it would be legitimate, would be Dragunov if they did do it.
I mean, they'll have to build someone else up, like one of the Coffee Brothers or something, or Wolfgang again.
Oh, Joe Coffey. Yeah, maybe Joe.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's where we're at. So there's only one match that where you have any kind of like disagreement on, and that's Kushida and Johnny Gargano. And that one, but yeah. But I think that's kind of indicative of where the storytelling is right now. It's really this time of year is not a lot of status quo changing for better or worse. I think we're seeing that in our predictions, kind of the way we talked about this. And it's just kind of the way it goes in WWE. Like, this is not the time for status quo change. The time for status quo change is like June.
Well, no,
when-
I mean, if they're going
You
to
know,
do,
June is the
gonna
time
be
of year when Jinder Mahal wins the titles. You know.
well, if they're gonna make a change, it's not gonna be a limited change. It'll be a fast lane. If they're gonna do a quick swerve or anything like a title move or just setting up for WrestleMania, it will be fast lane if they do it.
All right, but we'll
Like-
talk more limit shaping next week. We will also do our reaction show on Sunday after the conclusion of NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. So
Yeah.
that's where we're at now.
Vengeance Day. I still don't understand why they didn't want to go St. Valentine's Day.
I
I
mean,
know it was just a
God.
missed opportunity. It's Saint
it's like
Valentine's.
Yeah.
I think
Oh.
what makes
Yeah,
it
that'd
even
be
funnier
perfect.
is like when we first discussed it and we were like we were surprised that they weren't
That's my favorite pay-per-view of my
Right,
childhood
and-
was St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yeah.
Vince
And-
McMahon
and
versus
it's-
Stone Cold in the cage.
Yeah, that was
Uh.
Vince versus Stone. Every time Stone Cold kept just beat Vince to the hell, then he's about to leave, and then he gives him the double bird. He gives the bird, and then Stone's like, "Oh, okay." Beats him up again, literally bags him a pillar to post, about to leave, double bird, and you're at home going, "No, Stone Cold, don't do it! It's a trap! It's a trap!" And then
yeah, big show.